We are talking to Captain Aysha today, and we will be focusing more on the diversity aspect of it and how Captain Aysha has transformed a very niche segment of the aviation industry. Thanks a lot, Captain Aysha, for joining us today. How do you support and empower women in leadership roles within the aviation industry?
So I would say throughout my career, I had always two parts, the soft power part and then the hard power part. The soft power part, of course, I've always done it by default, following my dreams and being inspiration for other women. The other side of the business is I've always maintained 50% of my teams. I believe in diversity, and I believe that having women on board help and shape policies, help in giving you a different dimensions to the way we do our business. So in every role that I played, I always told my team I have two objectives. First, to promote the place that I am in, because by promotion you can get all the resources that you want and also highlight the importance of the role that your team does. And the second part is, I always say I am gonna maintain a gender balance. And of course, at the end of the day, I am trying to headhunt and acquire the best team in the industry, regardless of their gender, but always keeping in mind that I need a diverse team.
That's really interesting. You are the first female pilot of the UAE. And when we were talking, what initiatives have you implemented, specific initiatives, to promote gender diversity and inclusion at all levels of the organization?
So I would say, because most of my career, leadership career, it was in the International Civil Aviation Organization in ICAO. I've been leading many initiatives with the organization, such as the next generation of aviation professionals, supporting any, I would say, hiring of women, especially at the top level, because the council at that time was involved in the hiring of the top management level. I also, when I joined ICAO, there were no women on the council, and when I left there were 7 women on the council, which was a record for the organization. Also, I supported many initiatives. One of them is a flight by Shasta Ways, which was a flight around the world in a single engine aircraft to promote STEM and research and promote aviation around the world, which I had ICAO support that initiative. So there are so many initiatives that I would say resulted in an increase of the number of representation in ICAO. And I think today the UAE does more work for us as women than any time in the past. I think now what speaks to you is your competency and your passion and consistency and commitment. It's just a matter of you dreaming and the sky is the limit.
I completely agree with you. I think we are very fortunate to be working in a time where the government is driving a lot of initiatives to have women at the senior board positions and all. Can you share some success stories of women leaders within the GCAA or within the aviation industry who have made significant contribution to the industry? You are one of them, definitely. You are leading the game, but in your some other success stories which are very close to your heart.
I would say, since flying have been close to my heart, I would say Aysha Alhameli, which is the first captain with Etihad airline, is somebody that I would say I admire. There is Maryam Al-Mansouri, who flew the fighter jets. Also, she is somebody who made it. And by the way, for women to reach that height or that level, it takes so much persistence and so much effort and time for them to reach that, I would say, that ranking or that place in the industry. These are the two, I would say, off my head that made it in the industry. And I hope that especially the female pilots will stay in the industry till they make it to the command, because once you make it to the command, then the sky is your limit to go to the management and lead the industry.
How do you plan to create more opportunities for emerging women leaders in the industry?
I think the opportunities are there, but what I noticed, whenever I am at a table when there are no women, it becomes harder. When you are at a table, if you have only one woman by your side, it becomes easier for you to create that, I would say, environment where women know and women reached out to know the opportunities. I noticed that the biggest weakness in our industry is we do not have women clubs in terms of today. If I am in a leadership position, I can call all my friends around to ask them, like, who are the females out there that are competent, that can apply for jobs. At the end, they go through the same process as their peers from the male world. But for them to know that these opportunities exist, this is the hardest part. And this is where I think my role, and many at my position, they need to reach out to their fellow females to ask who are out there that have the competencies, education, and passion for them to change career or to apply for positions, or probably just join your team to make a difference in your organization.
Absolutely.
But if you don't reach out, no one will know, because our business is like a club.
I completely agree with you, and it's also relates to a certain point where especially the women in your industry, they don't do much of personal branding. When you don't do much of personal branding, outside nobody knows you. They are doing wonderful jobs in their current portfolios, but when it comes to positioning themselves for personal branding, I think that is somewhere lacking, and you have rightly said that they need to come out, be part of it. What advice would you give to young women aspiring to take on leadership roles in a traditionally, I would say, male-dominated industry?
I would say two things. Be ready.
Yeah.
And when I say be ready in terms of your competencies, education, and your passion. The second thing, be at the right place with the right people. Means you always need to connect, because you don't know what kind of connection you can form, so that they know what you have, so that when opportunity arises, you are the first one at the back of their head.
That's a great advice, like be ready and be there, I would
And
say.
be there.
You
Be
know,
ready and be there.
Be ready, be there, and the world is the limit for you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for talking to